Hello and welcome to the Breaking Free podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Francis, and say I'm very grateful and very humble to be joined by Maxi Plueck. Maxi is a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher. He has an awesome story. I've just heard a bit of it in our chat off air and helped him with some other stuff as well that we might probably share at a later date. Maxi's awesome. Not really sure how we found each other. It was through Instagram. He sort of gave me a follow, liked a couple of my stuff, and then I looked at his profile. I was like, oh, wow, another young guy doing awesome things, helping people connect to themselves through meditation and mindfulness. It's a really, really big topic and a really big thing right now. A lot of people are looking for alternative ways of healing and helping themselves. And Maxi's only 21 years old, and it's very impressive that he's dabbled in this so early. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for Maxi. He's got a very, very bright future. So, Maxi, welcome to my show today, mate. You're from Germany, currently in Spain. So, haven't had someone from Europe on my show before. So, I have been to Germany. For those out there, I have been to Berlin and Munich. But Maxi, welcome to my show today. I'm really looking forward to this interview, looking forward to chatting with you and hearing about your story and how you became a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher at only 21 years of age. And that's super impressive. You should be very proud of yourself, mate. And welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this great introduction, and thank you for having me. It's really nice. It's really nice to be able to chat with you. So yeah, I'm great. I'm just gonna share a bit how I became a meditation and mindfulness teacher. So basically it started in school where I was very ambitious to get good grades. And there was also a success coach for students in Germany who made a lot of content about how to achieve these great results. But with the time he himself burned out, and then he didn't upload for a few months. And then after some time he came back, but then he shared some tools that helped him get through this hard time, that helped him calm his mind, become more balanced, and actually become more fulfilled. And one of these tools was meditation. So I even applied meditation while I was still in school. I began my daily meditation practice back then. And that's when my grades improved the most, actually.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it really helped me become more calm, more focused, more balanced. And I continued my daily meditation practice afterwards. I've had it for like 3 years now, and I also actually became a certified meditation and mindfulness teacher because it was just something that was close to my heart. I thought and I think that meditation can really help people big time. That it's like a great thing to have as a practice. But I also became interested in other tools, for example, breathing exercises, yoga, of course, and just connecting more to nature. And yeah, now I want to pass these things on, these things I've learned to other people, because these are things that can basically help anyone. So I'm super glad to be here and to share some of the stuff I've learned and some things about my journey here.
Awesome. Let's get straight into it. So, meditation how old were you when you first learnt about this? How old did you say you were? I don't think you said how old you were.
17.
17, learning about meditation and mindfulness. That is incredible. Can you tell me, so with that, so you said you had a meditation practice. Let's delve into that first, I reckon. So can you tell my viewers, my listeners, what's your meditation practice look like? Are you doing like a guided one on YouTube? There's so many guided ones. Are you doing like your own thing now? Like, how did all this transform?
Yes, that's a great question because I tried out many different things over the time. At the beginning, I did do a lot of guided meditations. Um, it was just super easy. I just sit down and listened to what the voice was saying, and it was really calming and helped me empty my mind, for example. But nowadays, I just set a timer. I don't do guided meditations at the moment.
Yep.
I just set a timer for 30 minutes, and then I just sit down. And my goal isn't even to meditate, but to just be. And whatever thoughts may arise, they are allowed to be, and they are also allowed to just flow away again. Like I'm the clear blue sky, and the thoughts are like clouds, and they are allowed to come and go. But at the end of the meditation, it might happen that there are like no more clouds and the mind is totally clear. But that's not even fully the objective, because also when there are a lot of thoughts coming around and going on in the mind, the meditation is still helpful because it helps to like purge these unnecessary thoughts if they are unnecessary, and get them out of your system, and just still feel much more balanced and calm afterwards usually.
Interesting. So when you're sitting there doing your thing, mate, I know for me a lot of feelings and emotions come up, and you did touch on that. Do you, for anyone out there that's young and listening to this, mate, they probably want to know, like, when I sit down and do my meditation practice, which we can discuss later as well, but I just want to know, and people out there want to know too, do you have those feelings come up? And I know we're going to go deep here, but I know for me, a lot of feelings come up for me too. And it's like people don't want to do that because feelings and emotions will come up they're not necessarily ready to deal with. How were you able to, well, you use the word purge. How are you able to purge those feelings, dude? Because a lot of people, especially our age group, I know I'm a little bit older than you, but a lot of our age group, they don't really necessarily want to do this stuff because it's going to bring up the feelings and emotions. Oh yeah, what comes up? How do you deal with that? And what comes up for you, bro?
So that's another great question, because the thoughts themselves are often attached to emotions. So naturally also emotions come up during meditation. And yeah, that can be hard, but the idea is to let them move through you. If they point towards something really important, for example, oh, I need to call this person, I've been forgetting it for so long, then you can of course take a note, of course. But in other cases where it's not that urgent, you can just keep having your eyes closed and let the emotion move through you. I know it can be hard, but you want to acknowledge the emotions. It's fine that they're there. And also this method is one of the methods of getting them out of your system and like cleansing your emotional body, I would say. And in the long term, it's just good for you. And know that it's mostly safe. I would say it's safe for most people. And if it becomes too difficult and you think that like, oh, I can't stand this anymore, you're definitely free to like stop meditating on that day and just call it a day. and then maybe come back to it later again. But the important thing I would say is to just try it out and see how it goes. I would say that's the most important thing.
Interesting. So when you were doing this at 17, did you have help? Because I know a lot of people out there don't ask for help either. Did you have help getting into this, or you were just like, look, I'm struggling here, I'm just going to get into it myself? Like, did you have help?
Yes, there were some people on the internet who were sharing a lot of things about how they were meditating, and it really helped me because, especially at the time, it seemed to me like there were so many different kinds of meditations out there. And I basically, I would say like 90 to 99% of them are really helpful, but it's also about finding the one that is right for you, that helps you in your situation the most. And I'm glad that I found the kind of meditation that helped me the most, which was basically just connected to becoming calm and realizing that I'm more than my thoughts and emotions, that I'm more than my physical body. And yeah, clearing the mind. That was helped me the most, was what helped me the most. And also the guided meditations I found. I one specific person, he's called Moran. I used to do his guided meditation in the beginning, like on a daily basis. So that was what really helped me in the beginning.
That's awesome. We can put a link to his stuff down the bottom if you like. You can send me that. We'll put it down in the show notes for people to go and have a look at this Brent Moran stuff. Just another question for you, mate. How did all of this transform your life? So obviously your grades improved, but like, we'll go deep again. Did your self-confidence improve, your self-worth, belief in yourself too? Like, did all of that transform you? the last few years, mate?
Yes, I would say the most important thing that it did was it gave me a much broader view on life. So I wasn't too much in a tunnel view anymore, because if I would I have been in a tunnel view, I would probably have stuck to a normal path, just going to university without like thinking about anything else. Maybe also keep like consuming alcohol now and then, and yeah, just I don't know, pursuing a normal path, which is totally fine. But this way, I was able to zoom out a bit and also notice more of my strengths and potential. And I noticed that, hey, maybe there's more to this life than what like the media and so on suggest. Maybe there's more ways to live my true potential. And I think that's one of the major ways that meditation has helped me, apart from just making my mind more calm and balanced.
That's super powerful. I love what you said about like what the media suggest. I know you know about all the programming as well, which is really, really powerful for someone your age to actually understand this. And that's, you should be so proud of yourself, man, for what you've been able to do here, because not many men your age are doing this, mate. But I'll just quickly add, do you consume alcohol, or do you do these things that like everyone else your age, our age is doing? Are you doing these? Are you doing these things, or did you quit? Like, how's that for you?
Okay, thank you. First of all, my path basically just started because of this success coach for students who then got into meditation himself. So that's how I got into it. So I'm super grateful this happened. Maybe I wouldn't have found the path on myself. I don't know. But yeah, at the moment I don't consume alcohol. I'm not like strictly against it. If there was some very special situation that really suggested like having one drink or so, I would probably do it. But normally I don't, just because I basically read the science about how it's bad for like nearly every part of your body. And when I know that the placebo effect also might kick in, so I just stay away from it.
That's
and
massive.
also I've tried it a few times, even after having been even after I was meditating and so on. And then I just noticed that my mind was like a bit more gray at the days afterwards, and I didn't have this great access to my feelings the way I did before. So I just noticed these effects of alcohol, these slight effects in my mind the days afterwards. And so this was also one of the reasons why I basically just stay away from it. It's not like I'm not super strictly against it, but I personally just prefer to not have it.
That's unreal for someone your age, because a lot of men your age, my age, they're all doing this, drinking and different things. For you to recognize that at such a young age, and then to like completely turn your back on that is incredible. With this journey though, I know for me, when I started mine, I lost some friends and stuff. Like, have you changed your group of friends? Like, how's that look for you?
Yeah, so luckily the friends I also had before totally like tolerate that, and they are they don't think much about it, I think. And like one of my best friends doesn't even drink alcohol himself.
That's cool.
And so yeah, that's very nice. And I also understand why people like to drink alcohol. I know it makes you feel like more free and loose in the moment, and that's also nice. But sometimes I think people underestimate how good they can feel in the long term when they pursue the way of health and like evolving one's own potential. Because when you do that and you drink a lot of water, you get a lot of sunshine, you eat healthy and so on, you can feel so good in the long term. And I think people underestimate that, which might be one reason why they give in to these short-term pleasures like alcohol.
Mate, awesome segue into the next little conversation. That is so powerful to hear those words from a 21-year-old. I'm just like super impressed with what you're saying, bro, because it's some of the things, it's most of the stuff I say too. It's like in society, we're so programmed to just have that short-term fix whenever something's going on. It's like, it's a really deep thing. It's like when there's something going on in people's lives, it's like we'll turn to the bottle, we'll turn to the smokes, we'll turn to the vape, we'll turn to porn, we'll turn to all these things instead of sitting with ourselves and doing what you're doing and doing what I'm doing. It's like, yeah, it's like we're like a short-term society. People want things now. They don't want to wait for something. They don't want to go through the long process of healing or long process of what you're saying. It's just, if someone was listening right now, what would you say to them, bro, about nudging them in this direction if something's going on?
Okay, yeah, great question. This is something that can be done bit by bit. I think it might be hard to install all these health-related habits like from day one, but people can definitely just start small and try to stick to a certain sleep schedule, get sunlight early in the morning, maybe try to avoid alcohol if that's fine for them. And then you can build on top of that. And also, one thing I would definitely recommend is keep doing an activity that you really enjoy to do, that really fulfills you, that excites you. In many cases, that's a creative expression or helping other people or a certain kind of sports. Because doing these things, if the things that really excite you, they will keep you fulfilled and even more fulfilled with time. And that's also, yeah, a great tip I would give at the very beginning.
I love that, bro. Getting creative. And what do you do? So when you're like, yeah, so what do you do to be creative, mate?
I like to produce music. I also have a guitar and which I record sometimes, but mostly it's electronic music production with a keyboard I often have, and then I play in the melodies and I can edit them on my computer and stuff like that. That's what excites me. That's really fun to me.
That's awesome. And some of your content's good too. So obviously you like doing that as well. You know, some of your content's awesome, bro. So obviously that's part of that too. It's like we can tap into our creative ambitions, can't we?
Yeah, definitely. Um, there's also the aspect of some people not feeling that inspired or sometimes not feeling inspired. And then they don't know, okay, I don't even know what to create. I don't know where to start and so on. A question to help with that would be, what did you love to do as a kid? Maybe as a kid,
Oh,
I also like writing stories. So that might be a tip for myself that I start writing stories again or so.
that's interesting you say that, bro, because people that are familiar with my story, exactly the same. As soon as I went back to that child and did some inner child meditating, not sure if you've done inner child meditating. Well, I'll ask you that question in a minute. I did some inner child meditating and I actually sat with that child and was able to tap into that um, creative energy to be able to write my book and write my blogs and do my writing again, because it was a big thing for me, because I've spoken about it before, but I know in school a teacher said to me I shouldn't be writing the things I was writing. I should be writing the things that they're writing. I was writing about sport and being a hero and stuff. And the teacher said to my parents, we don't want Nathan writing about that stuff. So I sat with that child, felt his pain and the sadness and the belief of I'm not worthy to be able to write a story. You know, when you do this meditating, you do go very deep. I'm just intrigued as to how deep you've gone, bro. Have you done some inner child stuff to be able to let these juices flow?
Yeah, I've done some inner child stuff, but not in a meditation, but rather through journaling. I just let my inner
Ah,
child write. It's called stream of consciousness journaling. I just let it write what it felt about certain situations in the past and maybe also about the future. And I just didn't stop. I just set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes and I wrote without stopping. And at the end, it's usually that some things come out. You write some things down that you didn't expect or that
oh
quite
yeah.
surprise you. That's really good. Yeah.
Ah, there you
In my
go. So you,
meditations,
yeah.
it's normally more about general expansion of consciousness. I would say like in my deepest meditations so far, I was just feeling incredibly blissful because I was just able to connect to this source of pure consciousness that we are deep down. And it made me just feel very, very free and pure and amazing and blissful. But yeah, the inner child stuff and inner child work I usually did with journaling in the past.
That's interesting, because a lot of people with the inner child stuff turn to the meditation, and that's interesting. You do it with the journaling. I know for me, it's sort of a bit of both for me. I can sort of do it when I write. So whenever I write a blog, a lot of that's healing my inner child, especially those deep ones. But yeah, that's awesome. You can do it through journaling. So when you do journal, you say you set a timer and stuff too, but do you set an intention for what that journaling session is going to be, or are you just literally just sitting there and just writing?
Yeah, I normally do it I'm when I'm already feeling emotional about something, when I know that my inner child could use some healing in some aspect, or just generally me, when I notice that there's some aspect of myself that could be healed, then I just start writing what I feel about it, with a timer set, and I just don't stop writing. And
That's
I also
awesome.
might like draw little things that to represent better what I'm feeling. That's also great. So yeah, I would say also in general, art, like drawing in general or painting, can be a great way to express oneself, and also to get emotions out of one's system. And um, just also, you can of course also draw something very positive, paint something very positive, joyful, and that's also one of the ways how you can get the beauty inside you more into the world. Because I think some people also underestimate their own talent and how beautiful they really are at their core and inside. And then art is definitely a way to get that out into the world. Yeah.
I love that. Where do you think that comes from? That belief of not being worthy, not being good enough.
Mm,
Where does that
my
come from?
first my first idea would be that in this world where we have to go to school and so on, which is understandable, but it makes us do a lot of stuff that are not necessarily our strengths, and it pulls our attention away from the things that might naturally be our strengths.
Mm,
It takes some attention off of our creative side sometimes. And so some people don't even recognize a lot of their talents the way they could if they had like more free time, for example. Um, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons where that comes from.
yeah,
So
you're right.
yeah. Mm,
Because you're programmed to do one thing. And I know for me, I had an awesome mentor that told me, and she's like, Nathan, you can do and be multiple things. And as soon as I heard that little child, Nath, was there, he was listening, and he's like, I can do and be multiple things. It's like, what can I be? What can I do? It's like that child had that imaginative thought, that wonder, that hope, that dream to be like, shit, yeah, what can I do? And then I went about my journey. Did you have a moment like that where someone may have said something to you that was so powerful, you're just like, might even just been yourself, that you're just like, oh my God, I can do this, whatever it is.
mm. So first of all, I want to acknowledge your journey in that aspect
Thanks,
as
mate.
well, because it's true, you do so many very awesome things that I'm sure help a lot of people, that are really helpful, and that are out there to access, for everyone to access, for example, your blog as well. And yeah, one of the things that inspired me the most were also the things that Brett Moran said in his guided meditations, because first he would get you into a meditative state, just very calm and relaxed. And then he would also sometimes say some affirmations or
Ooh,
some general truths about your own beauty, and just saying how you are blissful at your core, and our true nature is pure blissful consciousness. And these things really inspired me, and they showed me that there's a light inside every one of us,
there is.
and sometimes it's just about letting this light shine brightly and stripping away the stuff that's in the way of it shining.
And it's quite often You know, a lot of people out there blame their pain or blame their stuff on an external thing when it's actually I call it our darkness, our evil force. It's like we're holding ourselves back, aren't we?
Mm,
And that light you're talking about is 100% our light. But to get that light, we have to shed that darkness. And that darkness
mm.
is usually those fears and those sadnesses and all those things, especially back when you're like back in childhood. Do you see that too? It's like that light's ours, but we got to get that darkness and those emotions out for that light to come in. Because once that light
Yeah.
comes in, dude, I don't know about you, but once that light comes in, that light is just shining so bright, and it's like something or nothing is, pardon me, is ever going to take that away from me again. How do you see that, mate?
Yeah, I think that's super well said. I think we all experienced stuff, for example, in our childhood
Mm,
that shaped us or that had some negative effects on us and that made us a bit more fearful about certain things and doubtful maybe about ourselves. And I think a big part of finding wholeness again and really shining bright is healing these things
mm,
or yeah, like shining some consciousness onto these things. Um, and this can also, of course, be done through natural therapy, but there are also some other things I think that help. And I think the most important aspect is that love is a great healing force. For example, of course, love by parents, love by other people, or very loving communities that accept you the way you are unconditionally. These can be very healing experiences, and yeah, the more you do this inner healing, the brighter your light can shine, I think.
100%. You missed one aspect of the love, bro. You said everything else. It's like self-love.
Yeah, that's also true.
How were
Definitely.
you when you were a child or when you were a bit younger? Did you have self-love issues? I know it's a real big issue amongst all of society, really. People, it's in the media, as you said before, in the media, it's viewed as this, oh, he or she loves themselves. It's an arrogant, like a real arrogant thing. It's like, no, if someone loves themselves, it's not necessarily an arrogant, pig-headed thing. It's quite the opposite. How were you someone that had struggled with self-love?
Mm, I wouldn't really say struggle because I rarely have like negative self-talk. I never in my mind I never say, "Oh, I'm such an idiot" or so. But
But
I
did you
am really
used to say
very
that stuff though? Were you
no
someone that
no.
used to say that? No. Oh, okay.
I was often very solution oriented, and I used to say in
Ah,
my mind, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was stupid," but I never insulted myself. But I still am very solution oriented, and I often think about the future and how I want to do stuff in the future. And one thing I often forget is like celebrating the little things, celebrating the achievements, and like um, congratulating myself on what I already did. And I think this would come with an even stronger self-love. And I also think that self-love is definitely very important because, um, as you said, self-love is like pretty much the most important kind of love because it's always with you and it makes you like radiate somehow. And
mm,
um, when you love yourself, it's also, I think, easier to attract love and positive things on the outside.
100%. You're speaking my
Yeah.
language, mate. It's just so refreshing having a 21-year-old like really understanding this like at a deep level. It's super powerful, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's a lot of things are just from personal experiences or from podcasts, audiobooks, and so on that inspired me to discover this stuff for myself and go deep myself. And I also think that anyone who wants to do this can also achieve this in short time. For example, I think many people can just like listen to an audiobook or so while just walking in the forest, for example, taking a walk these things can just add up. And I think everybody can do incredible progress by just doing what they feel attracted to do, what excites them, and by pursuing fulfillment.
It can be so quick because I know for me, my own journey was quick. And then when I help clients, they're super quick. It's like you can actually shed this stuff that you have carrying around for so long by simply asking for help from someone like Maxi, someone like me, or someone that's been where you've been. And Maxi's another one. Like, if you people are just listening to this now, like go back and listen to all my other podcasts I've done with people and the ones on my own. It's like this can happen super quick. And we're not sitting here on our high horses saying, look at our wonderful lives. It's like this is a heart-centered approach that Maxi and I are taking to be like, you can do this too. And
yeah, definitely.
If we can inspire you in some way to be able to do this, then our job's done. But if you're struggling right now, reach out and ask for help from Maxi, from me, from someone else that's been where you've been, and you could do something like this yourself. Like if someone's listening right now, you can do and be anything. And I don't know who needs to hear that, Maxi. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone needs to hear that. Yeah, it's just very important. I don't really have anything to add to that. But yeah, definitely, if you feel like you don't know where to start or so, you can always ask for help, also professional help. Definitely investing the money can definitely be worth it, is worth it in most cases. So definitely just start with the small things and follow your fulfillment, follow your joy, and see where it leads you.
That's super powerful, man. I got a couple more questions for you. If someone, well, you've actually just given the advice, so there goes that question. But I was going to ask you something else too, mate. So do you have like a nighttime routine as well before you go to bed? Because that's a real big one as well. Do you have like a wake up routine and a nighttime routine? What does that look like for you? Has that changed over the last few years? And probably changed too again. But how does your wake up and before bed routine look like? So you obviously meditate, yoga, or what do you do for someone out there?
Yeah, so a few hours before I go to bed, I like to put on some blue blocking glasses
Ooh,
to
hello.
block.
I've got mine over here. Yeah, it's nighttime here.
Nice, nice.
You want to talk
Yeah.
about blue light blocking glasses, Maxi? There might be some people listening that won't know what this is. So, yeah, what does that do?
Yeah, basically they block the blue light from screens and bright lights that might keep you from being able to slow down and sleep well in the night. Because what this blue light basically tells your brain is, oh well, it's still daytime, no reason to be tired yet. So what the blue blockers do is they filter out a lot of this blue light, and it generally helps with better sleep, falling asleep faster, which is, I think, quite helpful, definitely. And yeah, another thing I like to do in the evenings is a little yoga routine just to calm down. It's like 10-15 minute yin yoga,
Nice.
which really makes the sleep more restorative. And if that's like too much for some people, they don't want to do it every evening, which is definitely understandable. I would say one of the most helpful poses is the pose legs up the wall, where you lie down on your back and your legs are like up a wall, or if you have no wall near you, then you just pretend they are. So because this can be very healing for our bodies if we have been walking around or standing the whole day, this just reverses the blood flow and just has a very calming effect on our nervous system. You can just try it out yourself.
I do that every night too.
Nice, great.
It's very powerful putting your legs up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like your advice about the blue light glasses. Not many 21-year-olds, mate, will put on a pair of blue blocking glasses. People are watching on YouTube and Rumble. You can see the blue light bouncing off my laptop right now. And these blue light glasses, I don't know if you've heard about the circadian rhythm, but we're supposed to be in the dark when it's dark. We aren't supposed to have lights on. That's not how we were designed. We aren't designed to be in light when it's dark. So what these blue light glasses do is what Maxi said, is it helps you come back into tune with your circadian rhythm. Like we should be going to bed not at like 1 or 2 in the morning. We should be going to sleep before 10:30, getting those key hours in before midnight. These blue light blocking glasses help with your sleep. You should be up with the sun. That's our circadian rhythm. We're not designed to be awake till midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning, watching the screen, playing video games. Like there's something at play here that actually want us doing that. But it's so powerful to have someone like you, Maxi, that's actually wearing these awesome glasses. I'm wearing mine now because it is dark time here, but it's really cool that you've got a pair yourself, bro. And have you heard or researched much about the human circadian rhythm? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? I'm sure you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I know some stuff about it. For example, what you already said, that one should avoid bright lights after 10 p.m. Because it tends to lower dopamine on the next day. And also what I like to do is just get sunlight as soon as possible after I wake up, because this also helps with resetting the circadian rhythm. And of course, drink some water upon waking up, because after a night we are typically quite dehydrated. So that really helps. And yeah, I think that's basically already everything I do. Sometimes I do some stretches or just a little 5-minute mini workout after waking up, just to get the body really started and get the blood flowing and so on. So yeah, that's basically my routine. And I'm also curious, what do you do? Do you do some even different stuff than I do that I haven't talked about?
I love how you turned it back onto me. I love that. I love that. Yeah. So my routine, thanks, Maxi. I love that question. So my routine of a morning is, since I've moved to Queensland, I actually I finally settled in now. So yeah, I'll get up of a morning. I'll look into the morning sun out my window, which is pretty cool. And then I'll probably do a little bit of stretching, have some water, or I'll sip on. Actually, I switch coconut oil in my mouth before I do anything of a morning. It helps get rid of the bacteria on our teeth, different things after having a night of sleep. So then I'll brush my teeth after that. Then I'll have some salt water and some magnesium and a couple of other little powders and just some water. And then I'll go for a walk down to the gym and I'll do a workout when I wake up. So I go early in the morning and do a gym workout. When I was back in Victoria, I was doing it at like 5 in the morning. I'm going about 6 o'clock in the morning now, getting the morning sun, and I walk to the gym. It's about a K down the road. So I'm getting that movement going. Then I'll go and do a set of weights for an hour or so. Then I'll come back, have some more drinks, and then now I just go down the ocean for a swim after that as like a recovery. And then I start my day that way. And then of a night, I always stretch of a night, and I'll have these blue light blocking glasses on at like, the sun goes down early here, so mine are on at like 6 o'clock, and they stay on until I go to sleep. They've been off me tonight because I had my other glasses on, but as soon as you said blue light, I put them back on before I go to sleep. So I'll stretch for probably 15 minutes, mate. I'll have the legs in the air like you were saying. I'll do some static stretches, help my body relax. I'll ask myself some questions of how I conducted myself today and what feelings have come up, different emotions. Sometimes I'll journal. And then I'll I actually meditate before I go to sleep. So I do a forgiveness Hawaiian prayer before I go to sleep to get rid of the negative energy from the day. So it's basically the Hawaiian prayer is Ho'oponopono. And in that, you're saying to yourself or to whoever comes through, you might have someone come through. Someone might have cut you off in traffic today. Someone might have said something to you that you thought was a bit mean, a bit nasty. Someone might have been rude to you. So they might come through to you and you say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You say like over and over and over and over again until you let go of that emotional, whatever it is. So I do that for probably, it's about a 15 to 20 minute one. I might send it to you actually. And then after that, I'll put on some hypnosis. It's really good to be in that, as you know, that theta brainwave state before you go to sleep for reprogramming of the psychological subconscious mind stuff. So I'll listen to a recording about self-love or self-worth or wealth or removing negative thoughts. I'm currently listening to removing the negative thoughts one because I've just moved from Victoria to here. So I've had some thoughts and stuff come up about that. So Mr. P is really good. She'll walk you down a flight of stairs. I'll listen to that before I go to sleep. Sometimes I fall asleep listening to that, and I wake up and don't know what time it is, but they're really good. That's sort of like my nighttime routine. It's always a stretch. It's meditation, and then it's hypnosis, and then it's sleep. Then I wake up, go to the gym. That's sort of what I do, mate. It's very
Nice,
structured.
awesome. Sounds great.
Do you find with your routine, mate, that if you, a lot of people out there, what's the word I'm looking for here? It'll come to me. A lot of people out there will believe that they do so much. How do they find the time? What's your answer to that?
Mhm.
If someone was to ask you after this, how do you find the time for all that?
Yeah, I think basically it's just about setting priorities. Just see where you might be losing time during the day. For example,
Yeah.
I recommend not going on social media like too often, but rather in two big chunks, maybe one time after dinner and one time, I don't know, even later in the day, but make it two big chunks, for example, and don't go onto social media like again and again during the day. And then also see how in which other ways you might be losing time during the day. For example, I don't know, you maybe you could cut down a bit on things like Netflix or
Yeah.
stuff like this.
So
And
removing distractions.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and yeah, that's a great thing to say, because also when you work, you can make it more productive and you can achieve more in less time by avoiding distractions, by putting your phone into flight mode, for example. Um, and then you can start incorporating habits. For example, if you want to start a daily meditation practice, you can also start small with just 10 minutes a day. This should be achievable for everyone. And you can also use waiting time, for example, in clever ways. For example, if that's fine for you, you can even meditate on a bus if you can't do it any other way and you're on the bus anyway. Yeah, just
Especially if you're
get a
stuck
bit.
in traffic. If you're stuck in traffic and you're sitting in the car with nothing to do, and instead of getting frustrated at the fact that you're stuck in traffic, you could just do a couple of deep breaths and say, I'm grateful for the universe today. I'm clearly stuck in traffic. You can say some affirmations to yourself. You can say, I love you to yourself. You could say, you can do breath work. Like there's so many other things we could be doing. We're stuck in traffic instead of going off at the fact that we're stuck in traffic. So yeah, definitely well said. Because there's, you can do some breath work and stuff. Yeah. Can't you?
Yeah, I mean, every situation can be good for something. For example, I used to get annoyed about when I had to do something that I didn't want to do that kept me from being productive, but I could have embraced it more and see it as a break that helps me like restore my energies and to have some downtime and just enjoy myself. So any situation can be good for something and can be used in a positive way. And if nothing else, something that happens that you don't prefer helps you see more clearly what you do prefer by contrast. So you can always like have your learnings from something and use any situation in a positive way. Also, if it feels a bit hard sometimes.
That's awesome, man. That's really powerful for a 21-year-old to recognize that and to say the things you have in this chat today, mate. It's been really, really awesome. We'll finish off with a couple more questions. If someone was listening out there, mate, that's probably our age, might be older, younger, doesn't matter. Someone out there is listening, mate, and they're struggling and they've listened to us talk about this stuff today. What would be your advice for these people to go away and start their journey? What would be your advice to someone that's listening?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends a little bit on what they struggle with, but generally, I think self-reflection is a great way to start. Maybe do
Nice.
it with some journaling or so, and just ask yourself, okay, what is maybe the biggest area in which I could do something positive, in which I could apply a positive change to my life, and then start with that, and then maybe a week later apply the next positive thing. And I think we already spoke about some great ways, for example, meditation, yoga, and so on, to improve life's quality. So these would be some ideas. But yeah, don't be afraid to try stuff out, to see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Don't stress yourself out. You have more time than you think, and you can definitely do it step by step. And you can always reach out. For example, now in this time with the internet and social media and so on, it's pretty easy to also access resources that may help you, informational resources, even on YouTube, etc. So just see what you feel attracted to do what fulfills you, and take it step by step, I would say.
That's a really good piece of advice from a 21-year-old, mate. That's so impressive. You sound much older than that, mate. You're like mature and doing your thing. It's really, really impressive for a 21-year-old to take back control of their life and do what you're doing, mate. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I was just going to finish with this one, mate. Oh, I had something to say. I had something I was going to ask you. Now I've forgotten. How good's that live on air? Maybe we should just finish up. Hopefully I can remember what I was going to say. I did have something to say about all that. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say it. Live on air, and I forgot what I was going to say. Mate, thank you so much for jumping on my podcast. You made yourself available at, 6:15 in the morning in Spain right now? Is that right?
No, for me it's a bit later. For me it's like 12 now. So
that's not too bad.
Early midday.
That's all right. I thought you might have been getting up a bit earlier than that. Yeah, sweet. That's all right. So it's only midday. Well, Maxi, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for following me on Instagram. That's what I was going to ask you, actually. Hang on. We're live still. Where can people find you, mate? So if someone's watching this, where will be the best place to find you? Instagram?
Yeah, I think Instagram is the best way for now. It's just maxi.plueck.
Yep.
On Instagram. That's it. There you can find my stuff.
Yeah, sweet. We'll put a link to your stuff in the bottom. Give Maxi a follow. His content's awesome. He does videos and reels and different things talking about mindfulness, meditation, how to remove distractions. His content's really good. It's really impressive. Maxi, thank you so much for making yourself available and giving me your time, giving my audience your time today. You're a wealth of knowledge for only a 21-year-old male, mate, and I'm very, very, very impressed with you. So thank you so much for today. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much as well for having me. It's been so great to chat with you even before we started recording. You're such a nice guy. It's so nice to talk to you, and I think you have an incredible wealth of knowledge yourself. So it was an honor to speak to you.
Thanks,
and it was a joy to give you and your audience that time. I'm really grateful for it. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I'm really grateful for you too. You're going to jump back on. We're going to have we're going to be quite the regular on my podcast, mate. We're going to do this again soon, and I'm looking forward to that. For anyone out there that's struggling, please reach out to Maxi, reach out to me, reach out to someone that can help you. I said it before. If you are struggling, please ask for help. It can change your life. It's changed Maxi's, it's changed mine, it's changed thousands of others. Maxi, thank you once again. This has been the Breaking Free podcast. I have some awesome guests coming up in the next few weeks. Thank you for listening and watching wherever in the world you are. I really, really appreciate people that are tuning in on a weekly basis. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys again really, really soon. Maxi, thank you as well, mate. And we will talk very soon. I'm going to hit stop in 3, 2 now. So thank you.
Thank you. Bye.